going to go ahead and move on to the next band of the night. We got Next Door to Heaven, and I got Daria here. And Daria, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about the band and the track we're about to check out tonight? Oh, you're muted, Daria. There we go.
So you can see and hear me,
yes.
just to make sure.
Yes, you're good to go.
I don't know what's happening all day today. I'm sorry. So we're a metalcore band based in LA. Sometimes we play prog metalcore when we have some mood for that. Sometimes we play more regular or standard metalcore. It just depends. So currently it's 4 band members, 1 guitar, 1 bass, 2 vocals, 1 main and 1 backing vocals, and a drummer. Of course, you cannot play that kind of music without a drummer. Yeah, and that's also one of the most popular questions when people hear some of our songs. Is that drummer real? Yes, he is real. So that's probably it. That's our new song that you will hear right now. It's called Colors. It was released in the end of December, and actually it premiered on KLOS radio in California during Stay or Go show. So if something were voted stay, which was a little surprising because to my knowledge, KLOS is mostly about standard rock music, like, classical rock, that kind of music. So that was a nice surprise.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, and let's see. I got it queued up here. They, Next Door to Heaven, sent us a video. So if you are following along at home, make sure you got Twitch up in front of you so you can enjoy the visual to go with the audio. And here we go. Let's see if I can get this rolling nice and big on the screen for everybody. All right, here we go. Next Door to Heaven, Colors. All right.
Switching tax services can be a drag.
Apologies. Go ahead, Dom. I know you're in there somewheres.
Yeah. Awesome track, guys. And as always, yeah, I like the drummer. I know I asked that question last time. Is he real? He's freaking badass. You guys are badass. Whole band is sick. Seriously, your vocal range always impresses me. Your enunciation is really wonderful, and the amount of heaviness you bring to such a melodic feel is really it hits you in the feels. So I guess for my first question for you guys, what was the inspiration for this song?
The inspiration behind the song was actually, um, as in many cases, I guess, um, bad things happen. And in this case, I was thinking about, you know, all the politics and everything bad that is happening in the world right now. And I've been thinking to myself, what do I feel about it? How do I impact? How can I impact? And I thought, you know, even when it's the worst, even when it's really, really bad, you can find a lot of songs, and we do them a lot as well. I will not say that we don't do them. A lot of bands, um, say a lot of different negative things about what's happening in the world right now, like the almost the end of the world, all of that kind of things. But I decided to switch it. I decided to make the opposite this time, saying, what if you thought that it can be different? What if you could change it on a personal level? Therefore, you could change it for at least people around you. And then one by one, it might change something.
Yeah, that's deep as hell. I love it. That's pretty cool. So like kind of just no, I love it. No, that's so just kind of internalizing your own thought patterns for creating a different the way you think about something.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. I guess my second question would be if I remember correctly, you guys had a pretty cool story on how the band kind of formed. Could you walk us through how you guys started?
So the band was founded in St. Petersburg, in Russia. And St. Petersburg is considered to be probably the most famous city for musicians, actors, performers, and all of that. It's probably like Russian LA in terms of all of that. A lot of poets, actors, musicians, everyone. Especially, it's well known for rock and metal music. So we have a lot of different, really, really good bands that we truly respect even to this day. So we started back there in Russia. We existed for a few years, and then we had a manager from the US that we started collaborating with, and he said, why don't you try coming to the US? And for starters, just to play. We're not actually planning to move to the US in the beginning. And then we came to play and we saw how well it worked. And then he said, "What? So why don't you try moving here? Like in the worst case scenario, you can always get back, because in this case, you're not running from something or not like doing something special. So you just want to try to pursue your dreams, try to make a great career out of it. So why don't you try?" And we moved here, but we had to leave two band members behind. And we found two new ones here in California. So right now we're a truly international band in LA.
Yeah, that's so awesome. There's a lot of people that struggle just to get up and I'm going to release music or I'm going to try, and they never find the motivation. But you guys literally moved countries to pursue your dream in music, and that's I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah, I
But,
think it's around 8,000 miles between the
Yeah.
cities. Pretty far.
Yeah.
That's
Dom,
crazy.
I'm
Go
sorry.
for it.
Yeah, if you don't mind, well, I'll let you finish. Was that it on your question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so that's Gene, right? That just hopped in with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Gene's guitar, right?
right.
And a composer.
And the composer.
Okay. So I got a question, and it's just funny that it played out this way. I think Ben probably will back me up on this because I know this probably will hit close for him too. Do you take any? Well, let me back up. Well, I'll go. Do you take any inspiration from the band's either Landmarks or Novelist? Any? Because that tone you had in this track, it reminded me of a track that they actually, I think, collabed on. I think wasn't like Scars or something, Novelist and Landmarks, and that tone was like very, very similar. I loved it. So have you heard of those guys, or have you taken any inspiration from their tone?
Yeah,
Yeah, we heard of this guy.
we're really familiar with these guys.
But the thing is, as our band appeared in 2014, I'm not sure if Landmarks existed that year. So we only knew about Landmarks, I think, a couple of years ago. But we were already doing stuff like that. So yeah, considering your question, it's a really good band. When it comes to Landmarks, I cannot say anything bad about this band.
Yeah.
Really professional.
Really professional,
Yeah.
great vocalist, great music, but no, I think it's just
Same thing about Novelists.
yeah, same thing about Novelist. But with Novelist and Landmarks, I can also hear what she's saying, and that's probably because they're European bands, and in European continent, it's the same thing everywhere. For the European continent, we are very melodic, all of us, because of musical schools and everything. And it's just the way how we learn music when we're kids. I think that is why.
Yeah. Sorry to hijack that, Dom. It was just like burning in my head, and as the minute I thought of the bands and the references, I was like, I gotta say it before I forget it. And again, like I said, I follow all the bands, and I knew Ben. I think he's really into Novelist as well, so that's why I wanted to bring it up. But yeah, back to you, Dom. Sorry.
Yeah, part of the show, homie. How'd you guys get this one recorded? Do you guys have a guy you go to, a studio, or is it DIY?
That guy, that guy does everything.
Yeah, like only a small home studio, nothing else.
Yeah, we actually started from recording the vocals. We recorded drums in the studio, obviously, and we recorded vocals in the studio as well. But then somehow, sometime after that, I just kept on listening to the vocals that was recorded in the studio, and this time I just didn't like it at all. I don't know why, but I didn't like the sound. I didn't like that. It sounded kind of a little cold, all of that. But this song, it's very warm. You have to feel this voice near you, as if I was singing to you right in front of your face. That kind of feeling that I wanted to achieve. So after listening to it for a while, after this recording sound, I decided to re-record that. And I kept on re-recording that already at home, until I actually loved the results. And
The actual closet.
yeah, and I actually recorded that in the real closet. And somehow that type of sound was better than in a professional studio. I don't know what impacted the mood
Because of
of the closet.
because of your favorite things.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe just my favorite dresses kept on inspiring me inside the closet. I don't know.
Yeah, and no, but I mean that honestly makes sense. Again, I'm a hijacker for a few minutes because this is something I actually dealt with too. Because I send my stuff out to get mixed and mastered with other people, and there's this ongoing trend where the producers are trying to push too much for I don't want to say if it's too much. Everyone's got their preference. They're trying to be super push on the clarity and the tightness, and which is great. If you want that clarity, you want that tightness, you want it to sound like that. But I feel it's kind of give and take. You do too much of that, you kind of lose some of the rawness or that or those other little tones that you don't realize you miss until they're not there. So I mean that makes total sense. You know, they're going with a vision in mind that they like and not necessarily your vision. So I mean I get it, but I'm glad you did what you did to get what you wanted, because otherwise, you know, why do it if you're not going to be happy with it?
Yeah, you need to show your character. And
Agreed.
it's always very, very personal.
Hell yeah.
That's true. Yeah, when it comes to clarity, I also wanted to mention that when you are working on mixing, he does most of that, but I always take part in that. So when you do the mixing, especially in music that we do, you can make it even more clear. Yeah, and you will have to sacrifice the drums
Mm-hmm.
a lot. It will sound like, let's say, up-to-date version of In This Moment.
Right.
So you can make it more clear, but the
Yeah.
drums will be out there
Right.
on the back.
Yep. Feel that.
Can I ask a question real quick? I would like to know, I would actually love to know how your vocal background came about. Did you take lessons when you were younger? Did you start in choir, maybe singing in a church or something like that? I'd love to hear people's kind of background.
All of that. Yeah. I started singing when I was 7 with a teacher. Then I went to the choir. I've been singing in a choir for many years. Then I sang in a church for a couple of years. And then I was also singing, learning how to be a rock vocalist. We had a very special place out there. I don't know is there any chance there's something similar in here? I don't think so, but it wasn't like a music school. It was like you probably all know TV series Glee, right?
Yep.
So
Heard of it. I don't know if I know it, but
at least some of you may know, right?
Is it like theater? Is that like a theater type of thing? I don't know. Can anybody chime in? I'm not really too sure what that is.
It was
It's
a
like
TV
it's like
musical.
after class, some kind of activity when you have a teacher or a mentor that helps you and
Okay.
with like-minded people to do the thing. But in
Okay.
that case, with Glee TV series, it was mostly like the choir itself. But in our case, it was a rock band with girls and boys that were only 14, 15 years old. And there was a teacher, mentor, who was a professional drummer. Thanks to him. Thanks a lot, because what he did, even to me as a vocalist, he put on a metronome, like a real metronome, a simple one. And he made me sing to that metronome, sometimes
Wow.
for 1 hour, sometimes for 2, until I got it perfectly. So right now, I'm very good at it just because I've been practicing with a metronome for so long and so precisely.
Wow.
And that guy also, he helped us learn what rock music is, because in the past he was a pretty famous drummer and he was a very good drummer as well. He made us learn a lot of different things. So thanks to him as well. Yeah.
Well, thanks to him as well, you're good at keeping time now. And that's really interesting, because I don't think I've ever worked with, for me personally, I don't think I've ever worked with a vocal coach that has said, hey, sing to a metronome. So that's definitely probably something that stemmed from him being a drummer. And I think that's a super cool kind of obscure way to look at it. But I think that really helped develop you even more as a musician. So that's really neat. I like that. Well, yeah, you're a great vocalist. Every time I hear you sing, I'm super impressed. I love your control. I love your enunciation, like Dom said. And I really like the feel of this track, you guys. It was kind of like more of a proggy kind of feel to me. I don't know if I'm the only person that kind of felt that.
The
But
drums are like that. I mean, the
Yeah.
drums are kind of proggy a lot. So therefore, when I sing, I also have to make sure I actually do the right things following the drums as well.
and I could, yeah, and I could hear that very well. But I absolutely love the song. I think you guys nailed it again. So I can't wait to hear more from you guys. Yeah, and that's all I have for me, I think.
Thank you. We're working on a new single right now, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. Can't wait to hear it.
Heck yeah. So I guess I have one more question for you guys. Just kind of looking at some of your stats on like Spotify and some of your social media platforms. What are you guys doing to promote your music when you? Sorry, is it? What are you guys doing to promote your music when you release it?
Hey.
I saw your ear get close. I was like, oh, I'm screwing up. Yeah, I guess I was just
You're
looking
right
at some
in
of
the
your.
middle of that, Dom. You're just right in the middle.
There you go.
So, what is kind of like what do you guys do to market your music or promote it after release? You have some pretty good numbers like on Spotify and some of your social media platforms. What are you guys doing after you release a song? Like, what's your strategy for that?
Depending on what we're talking about. So let's say if we're talking about YouTube or Spotify, it's mostly about personal contacts of the people who run the playlists, both on YouTube and Spotify, that like our music. So it all started at some point when they heard some of our songs. I reached out to them showing what we do, and they said that they love it. And they started cooperating with us, adding us to different playlists. That's what normally happens. So since then, we're normally cooperating with the same people for playlists. It's because they like you for the first time, and then they just keep on working with you. That's how it works.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, playlists are really powerful, and they can. It takes one good playlist to really put you. It could put you in the spotlight and kind of really change your streaming dynamic and your stats just on all social media platforms. So I mean, that's pretty awesome. I think that's a good takeaway. I guess that's all I have for now. I don't know if Bo, do you have anything?
I don't have questions. I just want to say I love the song just like last time. I love the vocals. I love the melodies and the way that you like kind of sing them and phrase them and everything. It's just really awesome. And I love the single coil pickups on the Ibanez. That's what makes that sound so cool. That's all I got.
Hell yeah. So let's see. Since we talked about YouTube and Spotify and all that, do you want to give us a few plugs on where you want people to go to check you guys out?
Yeah, definitely. You can find us online. Probably the best place to go is YouTube, because you can also see music videos, all of that. So that will be our channel, Next Door to Heaven Music. And also you can find us on Spotify, Instagram. It's Next Door to Heaven Official. I know it may sound weird in 2025, but it was just not an option to have any other additions at this time. And Facebook, but Facebook, we're not truly active on Facebook anymore. I don't know if you feel the same way, but Facebook is not the way that it used to be, even a couple of years ago. So we mostly use Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music for sure. So I will say that as many times as I can. If you really want to support musicians, go to Apple Music. The subscription costs around the same money as Spotify, but it's absolutely different amount of money for musicians. We put a lot of effort into what we do. We're not complaining, but if you truly want to support the musicians, it's the best way. I mean, you can also go to the concerts, do all that stuff, of course, but for the streaming, it's just the best option. Apple Music, please go out there.
Hell yeah, you heard the lady. And yeah, looking out there in chat, Z Chops, I see Bo dropped the link for that track we just listened to. But also, Z, if you want to keep listening to it on Spotify, we're going to add them to the Banger Wednesday Spotify playlist. That link that Bo just dropped again. Add the playlist and you'll be able to listen to this track, and Next Door to Heaven has another track on there too from a previous episode, so you can go listen to them twice if you add the playlist. Come on, all the cool kids are doing it. So, for those that may have chimed in late, we have Next Door to Heaven here. I got Daria and Jean. We just checked out one of their tracks, new tracks at that, and it was awesome. Everyone in chat enjoyed it. Everyone in Discord enjoyed it. We're glad we got to get these guys back, and hopefully whenever they get this next release lined up, we can get them back so we can check that one out too, because they're always a good listen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, these guys always are a great listen, man.
It will be called I Will Follow. And I think we should surprise you a little bit, because that will be a little different from the current releases that we have.
Let's say a little bit heavier.
A little bit heavier. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So y'all are buying 8 strings and tuning down a few octaves, right?
We already have 9 strings. We had it for a few years. So
Just a sec.
we're mostly going from 9 string to 8 string.
There we go.
7.
There we go.
So that's, yeah.
Yeah. Now you're
That's
getting
the
my heart rate up.
vessel, music vessel.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm interested to hear how that sounds. With the way you guys sound now, with a change like that, it'll be pretty cool to check out. So again, that was Next Door to Heaven.